I was recently on social media, and an acquaintance of mine, who happens to be a short woman, had screen grabbed an ongoing conversation taking place on Twitter, that bastion of logic and reason. And the conversation was between a number of women calling themselves feminists, but who really aren't. And we've all met these women. They say they're feminists, but they have no interest in equality or the betterment of women in society. They just want an excuse to hate everyone, particularly men and attractive-looking women. And when you meet these women, if they're single, which they almost always are if they're heterosexual, they will blame it on beauty in Western society being unobtainable or some sort of oppression. Whereas in truth, every time they're single, it is 100% because of their fucking personalities. So the gist of the conversation goes thus. Men who are attracted to small or petite women do so for only two reasons. Firstly, small women will be easier to physically control. Now that may be true, but already I take an issue with it. I think most decent men, those who don't hit and abuse women, well, because most men are larger and stronger than women, I think we have an urge to be protective. And I know that may sound sexist, but if you're in town on a Saturday night and you're a guy and you see a heated argument going on between a man and a woman, it's quite normal to step in and check she's okay. And more often than not, she's pissed out of a tree and will tell you to fuck off and mind your own business. And the idea that small women are easy to control. Have you ever tried telling a short woman what to do? It's like juggling fucking hand grenades. But the second reason is even more disturbing. Apparently, men are only attracted to small or petite women because it's rooted in pedophilia. So first up, in the Queen's English, it's paedophilia. But secondly, if you're watching this and you're a short woman in a relationship with a man, apparently he's only with you to provide a safe outlet for his urge to be a nonce. What utter bullshit! But how do we define who is a petite woman? Well, I'd argue it's anyone below average height. And in the UK, the average height for a woman is 5'3". And that's a huge relief for me because Mrs. Disgruntled is 5'3½". So the police won't be knocking on my door telling me I can't go within 200 yards of a primary school. But wouldn't size be relative? Because the average height for men in the UK is 5'9". So 5'9", 5'3", that's a 6-inch difference. But the thing is, I'm a little taller, I'm 5'11". So, to make sure that people don't think I'm interested in becoming a fucking kiddie fiddler, should I divorce the missus and look for women 5'5" and taller? Or to be safe, should I look for a partner who's the same height as me or taller? But that would present a problem. Because I've been racking my brains, and out of all my female, I was about to say female, family, friends and acquaintances, sometimes it shows I'm from Norfolk, of all my female friends and acquaintances, all the hundreds, nay thousands of women I know, how many are taller than me? One. And wouldn't the reverse also be true? If you're a shorter woman, to make sure that your partner isn't the type of guy who'll never get a speeding ticket driving past a playground, shouldn't you look for a man your height or shorter? And again, that would present a problem. Because if I ever see a man who's under 5 feet tall, I assume he's on a quest to throw the ring of power into Mount Doom. Seriously, you don't see these hobbit-sized fuckers scuttling around very often. And this got me thinking, if we were to go along with this ridiculous pseudo-feminist theory, that any man who finds short women attractive must be harbouring some dark, diabolical secret, well, what about the women we see on television? Because Reese Witherspoon and Kristen Bell, they're both 5'1", and yes, I would. And at 5'2", we have Tandy Newton and Emilia Clarke. Now, I don't think any straight man who watched them prancing around stark bloody naked in Westworld and Game of Thrones would have thought to himself, I should be on some sort of register. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that Emilia Clarke playing Daenerys Targaryen is the most wanked over woman in the world. But now, there's a young lady who's providing almost an antidote to this. A 19-year-old from Texas called Macy Curin has joined OnlyFans to promote body positivity. And normally when people talk about being body positive, it means they're morbidly obese, too lazy to do anything about it, but demand that you find them attractive. And I'm sorry, one of the qualities I look for in a woman isn't that she'll be dead before she's 30. So, Macy isn't obese, but she is large. She stands 4'5" at her hip. She's in the Guinness Book of Records for having the longest legs of any woman on earth, and she stands 6'10". Now, I think it's great that she's promoting the idea that tall women can be attractive, because of course they can. But I can't imagine being in a relationship with her, walking along on a chilly autumn evening, and she says, "I'm cold, put your arm around me," and I'd have to go and buy a fucking stepladder. Also, I drive a Mini. There's no way she's getting in that. But there will be some men who will fetishise the fuck out of her, and I guarantee, as soon as they do, the same women who are arguing that men who like short women are all pedos will have something new to moan about. But oddly, women fetishising tall men, that happens all the time and it's seen as fine. Now, if you're a taller lady, I can understand you may want a taller partner. But we've all seen on social media these, well, skanks is probably the best word, who'll type something like this: "If you want to be with me, you got to be 6'4", have your own house and car and a 6-figure salary." And the women who post this shit are always exactly the same. They're unemployed, they'll have at least 3 children, all of whom have different fathers, and they're always dog rough. I mean, the sort of face where at the end of the night, when the lights come up in the club, your reaction is, "Jesus, call the priest!" And there's this strange double standard where it's seen as okay in society to mock short men. I've done it in this video. But height isn't something you can control. If you're a man and you're 5'4", you can go to the gym 7 days a week. It won't make you 6 feet tall. And given that the same applies to women, they can't control their height. Rather than sniping and bitching on Twitter at short women, wouldn't it be better to let women of all heights, shapes and sizes find a partner who makes them happy and treats them properly? And if the woman in question happens to be below average height and she's not going out with one of the 7 fucking dwarfs, we shouldn't accuse her fella of being a sex offender. As ever, thanks for watching. Taking place on Twitter, that bastion of logic and reason, but Elon Musk bought it now, so it'll be fine. Kylie Minogue, 5 foot. Maisie Williams, 5'1". Lady Gaga, 5'2". Natalie Portman is just under 5'3". Am I not allowed to fancy Padme Amidala? The only thing that made the prequels trilogy worth fucking watching is we don't know what height women are anyway without looking at their feet. That makes you look like a fucking foot fetishist, because women wear heels. They wear makeup to look younger than they are. They wear push-up bras to make the tits look bigger than they are. They wear them clever body stocking things to make them look thinner than they are, and then say men are fake. 5'2", we've got Tandy Newton and a minute. Oh, fuck it. Yeah, I would. Tandy Newton and a minute. Oh, fucking Emilia Clarke. How is Daenerys Targaryen easier to say? How about instead, wouldn't it make more sense to, fuck it. Wouldn't it make more, at least the crows are joining in. You remembered your lines, well done. Yet oddly, it's just the fucking dogs are joining in now.